Have you ever had that feeling where your spiritual passion starts to, well, fade? Like the fire you once had just isn't burning quite as bright? Today we're going to dig into a really powerful metaphor that explains exactly why that happens. We'll see why community isn't just a nice to have, but an absolute necessity for a vibrant faith. We're talking about the hot coal principle.
Okay, let's just get right into this big question. It's a pretty common idea today, isn't it? My faith is personal. It's just between me and God. I don't really need a church. But is that actually how our faith was designed to work? Can you really thrive as a Christian all by yourself? To answer that, let's look at a super simple but really profound illustration. It's called the hot coal principle, and it just perfectly captures the danger of trying to go it alone. I want you to picture a charcoal grill, just packed with briquettes. They aren't just warm, they're glowing fiery orange, literally pulsing with heat. And together they create this intense, powerful fire that can cook something amazing. The key is, they're keeping each other hot. Now what do you think happens if you take a pair of tongs, pull out one of those glowing coals, and just set it by itself on the cold pavement? You know exactly what happens, don't you? It doesn't take long at all. In just a few minutes, that once glowing coal turns to this dull, lifeless black. Now, it's still a coal. Its identity hasn't changed, but its fire is gone. Its passion is gone. Why? Because the world is a cold place, and it will absolutely douse your fire if you try to go it alone. And here's what's so amazing. This isn't just some clever modern analogy we came up with. It's an ancient biblical principle. The writer of Hebrews was talking to these early Christians who were under intense pressure, and he was pleading with them, don't give up meeting together. Why? Because we desperately need to encourage one another to keep that spiritual fire burning bright. So the bottom line is this. Isolation is a trap. When you're all by yourself, your passion just cools down. Your perspective can get kind of weird without the balance of community, and you become a really easy target. Think about it. Wolves don't attack the whole flock. They look for that one sheep that has wandered off by itself. So if God's design isn't for us to be these scattered, isolated coals, then what's the alternative? Well, the Bible gives us a different, much more powerful image. We're designed to be connected, not just as a pile of coals, but as parts of a single living body. This forces us to completely reframe our idea of church. We tend to think of it as a building we go visit on a Sunday morning. But the Bible never ever describes it that way. It describes it as a living, breathing family that you belong to, a body. And this goes right back to the original language. The Greek word for church in the New Testament is ekklesia. It literally means the called-out assembly or the gathering. And get this, in the entire Bible, it never refers to a building, not once. It always refers to people. It's all about who we are together, not where we meet. The Apostle Paul builds on this idea in his letter to the Ephesians. He explains that the whole body only grows when every single part is connected and doing its job. A finger can't survive if it's chopped off from the hand, right? And elsewhere, Scripture calls us living stones, being built together. We were never meant to be standalone bricks. We were designed to be connected. Okay, so this leads to a really practical, maybe even challenging question for all of us. When it comes to our church community, are we showing up as a consumer or as a contributor? And the contrast is just stark. The consumer comes to be entertained. They're always asking, so what did I get out of that? But the contributor? Their motive is to serve. They're asking, who can I encourage today? The analogy here is perfect. One is a passenger on a cruise ship, just waiting to be served. The other is a crew member on a battleship, knowing they have a vital role to play in the mission. And the Bible is crystal clear. Every single believer has been given a gift. But here's the catch. That gift isn't for you. It's for us. It's meant to be used to serve one another, to build up the whole body. If you're just sitting in the pew, you're actually robbing the family of the unique supply that only you can bring. All right, so what do we do with all this? How do we move from being an isolated, cooling coal to being a glowing part of the fire? Let's break down the action plan. It's a pretty simple three-step plan. First, stop being a spectator. You have to make a conscious decision to shift from being a consumer to a contributor. Second, find a place to serve. It doesn't have to be glamorous or on a stage. Parking team, greeting, helping with kids, every role is vital on a battleship. And third, if you're disconnected, just get back in the pile. Find a solid Bible-believing church and just show up this Sunday. Get back in the fire. So let's go all the way back to that first question. Can you be a Christian alone? The answer is yeah, technically, but you will be a cold one. And the goal isn't just to survive our faith, is it? It's to thrive in it. And for that, you need the fire of community.